update on the league's inquiry on the per the injury report in Bijan's situation?
Oh, are you talking about like sensationalized, like things like, look,
I caught it an inquiry, not a
no, I mean, guys, if you guys really understand how things really operate, I understand outrage and drama sells, like, you're not, but guys, like, if you really understand like how things really operate, that there's nothing, like, nothing there, so I don't know what, like, I haven't given 1 second of thought about it.
Have you offered for me, you know,
Mike, we're not going on this. We'll talk about the Tennessee Titans, the big game we have going on. I'm not, like, you can ask rumors and innuendos. I can go find sensational stories. We can talk about climate change. What's your thought on climate change? You want to go down that road? We'll talk about world politics. We can do that too. I'm sure you got an opinion. What's your thought on climate change?
you really want to go down this road?
No, I'm just saying. Like, that's what we're doing here. Let's talk about the Titans, and let's talk about the Falcons, and it's all about football.
It'd be malpractice not to ask about.
No, you got to do your job, but I'm just saying, like, everything you do, it's 2023. Everything is transparent. Whether you want to believe it or not, everything's transparent. Just look around the world.
Will Bijan practice today?
Practice just like he did every day, as all season. I don't think he's missed a practice, as he did,
But he's feeling better. He's back in the swing.
as far as I know, yeah.
So what happens when, you know, the league calls for inquiry? Are they how many people do they interview? Did they ask questions? Or, I mean, it's not a legal matter, so it would be depositions or subpoenas, but we're just
talking about
not-
you have it-
we don't know what
Yeah, it's a very officiating. You're talking about officiating?
What happened? And you
Officiating?
talk- we don't know.
Again, inquiry is a subjective comment, but it's good for your business. Nothing to it.
This is the first time you're going to be going up against Tennessee as the head coach, going back. So what are you looking forward to about, you know, being back there? Any fond
Well,
memories, and how's it feel?
I mean, obviously, you know, I was fortunate enough to spend 10 years in a place, and, you know, a place that's not that far from where I grew up in Memphis. And so, it was, you know, obviously you got a lot of good memories of it. I mean, there's, you know, somebody, every time you travel, some player or coach, you know, usually has a connection there. And obviously there's one in there in Tennessee. I made a lot of good relationships with a lot of good people. Thankful for my time there. Wouldn't be here if I didn't have that experience. But this game's going to be about the players, you know, and which team's ready to go between the Falcons and the Titans, and we know it's going to be a hell of a challenge.
It looks like it's being reported that Tannehill won't be playing, so it'll be between Lettuce and
It won't matter who's out there. I'll tell you this about Mike Vrabel. You could put freaking Led and Rothstein out there. He'll have them ready to go. And so we got to play our best football game. You know, sure, you got to have plans. can happen any week, right? You can have a whole game plan, and the starting quarterback may not feel like himself to lead, and the coach decides to play the other guy, which he's allowed to do. And you know, you got to be a plan for the backup quarterback. That's the way it goes. So I promise you this: they will be ready to go. And if we don't play our best game and we're not prepared, we'll get embarrassed. I would hope so, but again, you never know.
But is it more difficult this way because you legitimately might have to spend 33% of your time on 3 different quarterbacks? Is that a little different, Andy?
Every week there's different obstacles, Josh. Whether you got 3 running backs, teams have to prepare for our 3 running backs, right? So whoever has the hot hand. Again, maybe I'll have to go tell Raves that, hey, Algier got the hot hand. I'm going to give him 15 carries. Maybe that's what I need to do. That's where we're headed. So make sure I don't upset anybody on their fantasy team. So maybe I'll yell across the Braves, hey, we're going to give the CP another carry here. But in all seriousness, like, you got to prepare for everything, right? Certainly. Yeah, there's an injury, whether Ryan plays or he doesn't, whether Levis plays or Malik. Hell, I'm sure we'll see some Wildcat with Derek or Spears. So it's the way it goes. But every week, though, it's about the plan, but really it's about playing the rules. You can't defend everything on every play, right? Every play call, there's going to be a hole in it. You know where your weaknesses are. That's on defense, special teams, and offense. So we have to execute. We got to be dialed in, and we know this will be our best challenge because this team, again, maybe that was a bad analogy between you and D-Led, but if Scott and Josh are out there, they're gonna play hard, and it'll be a challenge, and they're gonna test your rules, and it's gonna be a big time challenge for us, and we better be ready to go. We can't keep making the mistakes we've made and expect to win games when you're playing a good team.
I know I've asked you this before, like opponents so far, but you were in that building for so long, you understand Mike so well. Are there things that you can glean that can be helpful for you in that vein? Maybe
Well, I
different
mean,
than
I'll put it this way. Like, it's a seriousness of understanding what you're stepping into. And like I said, there's not a better coach of this league about getting the team ready to play no matter what's going on around you. Just go look at that COVID game against Buffalo. Go look at that game in Baltimore a couple of years ago, wherever we were, 40-point underdogs. Or go to Houston or Jacksonville, week 2 and 3, 2018. We're down to our 4th and 5th tackle. Again, nobody does a better job of getting a team ready than Mike Vrabel. So they're coming off a bye. Again, we got to play better. We got to stop turning the ball over, and we got to eliminate critical mistakes. Can't let the quarterback, no matter who's back there, whether it's Josh or Tannehill or Scott Bear, we can't lose contain on a critical 3rd down and let it play. And those are things we got to eliminate, Mike. So we need to continue to improve and to go win a game on the road again.
Did you tell Tyler not to talk to his dad this week?
I didn't tell Tyler. Tyler's pretty stoic. I think he's more like Jen, his mother.
Do you have to avoid talking about this one? You guys have such a big, long relationship.
Look, we talk a lot. I haven't talked to him. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to hit me up about a vest switch or something like that. Is that what you're asking? That's what we're going to do. I'll be waiting for Braves to hit me up on that. But no, I mean.
I didn't know if that would cost you because of the Scotland patch or whatever.
Good.
Coach Cam London, the guy that played the last 2 games.
Nice job.
Discuss,
Yeah, I mean, you got to reward that, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. You're trying to build a whole roster. Guys get opportunities. It changes every week from the game plans, and really appreciate LaCale playing good football for us. That's what we can provide, an opportunity. Doesn't matter how you got in this building. You get an opportunity. He said he's played in the NFL, and he obviously went in the XFL, brought him in here. It's a really cool success story, and obviously it's credit to him. He's playing good football, and we need to continue that trend. But, yeah, it's awesome when you get to reward people like that.
You didn't play Bijan, the reason that you didn't play, that he didn't play. But did you maybe...
Same thing with CP a week before.
Well, were there things that you learned about your run game having a different combination of backs in there?
It just depends on the game plan. It's what we wanted to attack against Tampa. I mean, it'll change week to week. I guess the biggest lesson is what's so important is building depth. Whether a guy on the second play of the game, things come up all the time. Like the longer you're around this game, if something comes up, that's what you have to have contingency plans. It's part of coaching. It's part of management. And shame on you if you don't. So if you don't have depth, you don't have plans, it's really hard because then, you got to have answers. And so when you have depth and you can adapt, or you have a plan, and then other guys can step up, and this is a long journey. Every game it's a different challenge, even as the game progresses. And then, as you continue, every week something else might come up. And when you have depth like that, and you've got different guys that can carry the football for you or make plays for you in different ways, whether it's play extension by the quarterback, whether it's carrying the football, whether it's catching, that helps. So that's the biggest lesson about why you want to develop depth, and it's when you have players like Tyler and CP and Bijan, and especially with Bijan and CP that can do so many different things, that helps you as a game plan when you're not out of something, and if something happens to one person.
Kyle's played the last couple of weeks.
Playing good football. He is. That's the thing too. When you're able to spread the football around, and you got a lot of guys that make plays. If you squeeze the zone to one guy, it opens up other guys if you're trained that way and you have other guys that make plays, which we do. I mean, look at the first drive of the game, what we did. They adapted. And, the ball kept moving around, and Kyle made arguably the biggest play in the passing game. in situational football. There were other plays where, you know, he's the primary, and credit to Tampa, they took him away, and ball went elsewhere, and we made plays. And that's what you want when you've got an efficient offense. The next step is that last mile delivery of putting the ball on the most expensive real estate. We're doing a great job moving the ball, but we've found different ways to make it hard on ourselves in the red zone, and we got to clean that up.
To follow up on what you said about the versatility of Bijan and CP in situating depth, what did you see from CP? He looked, he was running strong.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, he was coming back from injury, right, from camp, and he'd been ready to go, and you know, credit to him. You know, the ball came back to him. He'd been patient. He'd been working extremely hard, and it's why you appreciate guys like CP. Because the season didn't start the way he wanted. Nobody wants to deal with an injury. It happened, and he attacked it unbelievably well. Again, the early part of the season, you know, he does a lot of things for us, but you're not in the mix because of an injury. And then, all right, you get healthy, the ball comes back to you, and he took advantage of opportunities. And yeah, I mean, it's good when you got all these guys, and if you keep improving, that's what you want to be. We want to be playing our best football, hopefully as we're winning and as we're going into the end of the year. But that was good to see. It really was.
I assume his role was different than it would have been with Bijan having his normal work.
Never know.
Were you confident that CP was ready for that added share?
I wouldn't put him out there.
Well, you pretty much had to, right? I mean,
You don't have to. I could have given the ball to Jono. We can go Wildcat. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. You don't have to do anything. Like you gotta snap the ball. You gotta have 11 out there, and you have to try to go score. But there's no rule that says I have to give the ball a guy a certain ball. Like I said, if Mike's playing quarterback, we can put him at halfback too. Is that against the rule, or are we gonna have an inquiry? So.
When it comes to Desmond Ridder and his progression, you know, the week before it was interceptions, this week it's fumble, but he's at least making different mistakes. Like if I recall, you want to see him just getting better but making not the same mistake.
Sometimes it's not all on the quarterback, but obviously as a team, even in some, it's a little things on defense and special teams, like we want to get better. Like, yes, you're happy when you win, but there's always things that we got to improve. So it's not a catastrophe. I mean, we found a way to win, but you don't want that trend to continue, however they happen. So you can make progress in other areas. The ultimate objective is to win. So we found ways in critical situations two of the last 3 weeks to win situational football and win the game, but we want to continue to get better. And so there's always things to work on. You obviously don't want to give the ball away. It can cost you. You know, thankfully we were able to get 2 takeaways as well. But that's the next thing we got to continue to work on.
Do you feel like some of the heat on Desmond is almost unfair compared to like other quarterbacks? I mean, we look at Bryce Young, and you know they're not winning, yet he's finding ways to win games. I mean, why do you feel like there's so much more on Ridder compared to maybe other younger quarterbacks?
Probably because of toxic groupthink. I think a lot of people don't watch the film, and it's boring. And so momentum, I mean, you see it all around the world. So things get spun out of control. And so it sounds smart if somebody says it. Hey, maybe they know what they're talking about, and there it goes. It's a groupthink thing. People get labels put on them. They may get 17 chances. I don't know. It's the way it goes. I just try to be objective. And to look at the results, watch the tape, focus on us, see what we can improve. But that'd be my best guess. I said it last week. Plenty of quarterbacks, they get taken high. Some guru didn't watch the tape. Maybe had a friendly agent or publicist, pumps this guy up. The guy's not very good. Gets 4 coaches fired because everybody else thinks he's good. And the story repeats itself. It's the history of the National Football League. Guys that make it, that are good, that get opportunities, that continue to improve. History will tell you. There have been a lot of guys in there in Canton, Ohio, that I'm sure at some point people thought they couldn't do it for whatever reason.
Coach, speaking of Canton and good players.
Are you going to do a flex now? Surprised you didn't wear your Hall of Fame looking shirt.
We're going to stay right on the Titans there.
Okay. Oh, there could be some back that were on the Oilers uniforms, right? There could be some Hall of Famers back. I don't know if Bruce is going to be there. We'll have to ask. I'll have to ask Jake.
Yeah, but no, but I was getting towards Derek Henry and Tajay Spears and how they were blending them this year.
Yeah, they're different players, both really really good backs, different skill sets. Obviously, Derek's is well documented. He has been one of the more productive players in the league in the last, I don't know, 6, 7 years. You know, I'm not sure about, I got to talk to him about his new hairstyle too. I'm not sure if I like his new hairstyle.
Yeah, you didn't like your mustache.
Yeah, I don't like his new hairstyle. Well, Derek and I so we'll talk about that maybe post-game after Braves and I do the vest swap.
Are you really gonna do a vest swap?
No.
You keep mentioning it, I gotta ask.
Oh, here's what do. Why don't you ask Mike? Are they talking tomorrow? Oh, ask Mike. Open his presser with that. Can't wait to hear his answer. I'll just say I heard you DM'd Coach on your social media platform, on whatever, TikTok or whatever. That's what me and Braves communicated. We communicated on TikTok, so he reached out. Ask him that. I can't wait.
Now you gotta do it.
Again, don't have to do it, right? The rules there. Is that a mandate? Am I going to get fined if I don't do a vest swap? Or a guy doesn't do a jersey swap? Where are we at now? Maybe that's where we're at in society. But going back to that, D-Led, I can't remember what your original question was. Derek Henry, yeah.
The running game.
Yeah, Derek, obviously. Derek's made a lot of big plays in this league. He continues to be very productive. And if we're not sound in our run fits, he'll expose us.
What's the mental challenge for defenders of facing him, and is there any way you can help your guys prepare for that?
I mean, there's great players you got to face every week. Well, last week, Mike Evans, and this week it's Derek, and there's a different challenge, And the thing is, you try to play with good fundamentals and understand where you don't want to get exposed. Doesn't mean that he's got to say, and they're going to try to make it hard on us, but he's a really good player. You try not to get those guys get loose. Easier said than done.
But I would imagine in your time as a play caller there, you saw him specifically have a cumulative effect on defenses.
Sure.
And how do you combat that as the defense?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, you got to be sound in your run fits, no matter what the call is. Understand what the issues are, so you're not out of gaps. And any runner, whether that's Spears or Derek, or if they run, Malik or Ryan on his own read, or whatever wildcat thing they dream up of, if you let somebody through the first level, you got to tackle in space. It gets through that second level, look out. Now you're relying on your safeties or your secondary support to get them down, and that's where any good offensive player in this league, and when they get that much space, they can make it hard. And so that's the challenge, no matter who's back there. Not letting them, get through first, second levels, because that's when it gets ugly.
I know y'all scouted quarterbacks too, just because, I picked one too. But what were some of the things that were impressive about Levis? Started at Penn State and at Kentucky.
Yeah. Obviously, he got a big-time arm, very smart player. Ball came out quick. I mean, he played in a lot of big games at Kentucky. So they drafted him for a reason. They put a lot of draft capital on their offense this offseason, right? Up front, 2 linemen, Skronsky and then Duncan, and then obviously Levis and all across. So when signed Hopkins, I mean they got some top shelf talent on offense that they invested in this offseason. So it's going to be a challenge, just like there is every week.
Anything else?
That's all y'all got? Can't wait for his answer. I cannot wait. Please ask him. Thank you.